This is the epitome of Skid Row. You're in the middle of the pot. This is it. This is where they hang out and get lost. They get lost from whoever they're running from, whatever they're running from, and they get lost from themselves.
Okay, what's going on is I look at it like people are hurt, come from broken homes, people don't love them, they don't have the support, so they migrate downtown, and usually you can find friends. For me, I can share from my own personal experience. One of the reasons that I started using drugs and alcohol was simply because I didn't feel wanted or accepted in my own household, whether it had been with my grandmother and family members or in my marriage. And so what I did to seek out that feeling of being accepted or appreciated, I would come downtown or in surrounding areas and be with people who use drugs and alcohol. For that moment, it seemed like I wasn't alone. You know what I mean? I had friends and I was getting the attention that I desperately seek.
It's dangerous. You got people that's out there doing anything for drugs and alcohol. They don't care whether it's to stab somebody or have sex with somebody that might have AIDS. The whole existence is negative. The only thing positive about downtown is the people that come down here and give away food and stuff. And this drop-in center is the best thing that ever happened to downtown Los Angeles, because it's getting a lot of them off the street where they don't have to be out there laying where people can come by and shoot them or stab them or whatever it is that's going on.
I've been staying here for a little while because, I mean, you know, it's just a port in the storm. We watched them build it. They was telling me about a place that they were going to have for you to take showers and come in and get baths and get beds and everything. So soon after they opened it, so this is great.
You know, we give them this place to come, a place that, you know, like no other, really. It's a place like no other. This is the first of its kind, as far as I know. So we decided we would try this and see how it worked, and so far it's been working well, and we have had a big response.
Our goal was 200 individuals would walk in per day, but from day 2, we have been over 600, ranging in the average of 700 or 800 a day, and one day hitting 999 in one day. So it has been much busier and much more active than we anticipated.
We're probably, at this time of day, since last midnight, about 480 people.
About so.
It's the reason for the individual, the staff person or volunteer that stands at the front. My concept is the same as a Walmart. We want somebody there to say, welcome to here. Do you need anything? If they do, they can direct them to the right place. But mostly just to give them a friendly hello and welcome them in. It has given that tremendous feeling of people being here and being served. And that's what's really important. And things have happened that I didn't anticipate. The evening, almost every square inch outside is covered with people sleeping. Well, they're still on the pavement, sleeping, but they're in a safe place. And that's what's making them feel better. And if they're here, then they're available for us to talk to and eventually to get that rapport with and hopefully move them into another kind of housing.
We have ladies that come in that are in their 70s, there's crack cocaine, there's devastated, I mean grandmothers. We have gentlemen receiving pensions and disabilities. We have veterans that, you know, like haven't been in the system, like myself, in about 25 years. But the idea is they can come here and they know that it is a safe environment and that we are willing to help.
The world of Skid Row is pretty scary for women. Not only women who are alone, but women and their children. We have a lot of clients, a lot of guests that come to see us who just need a refuge, you know, for a few minutes. I think their stories are more extreme. I think their experiences are more extreme. Because as women, we tend to be more physically vulnerable. There's an intimidation factor from the men, and there's no one really to protect them. I think women often find themselves having to do things that they wouldn't normally do just to be protected. This place is a sanctuary for them. They can come, and even though they might find themselves sleeping outside, they're still safer than they would they be sleeping on the street.
They can get a shower. We give them a package with, like you'd get at your hotel, with a little thing of shampoo and conditioner, body lotion and that thing, and they go in, take the shower, still no demands, come out. If they want to lie down for a while, we have the respite beds available. No questions asked, just come in and take a nap or spend the evening, whatever you want to do. I think the secret of it is that simple, that we just are supplying those services. I should mention they can also wash their clothes, which, when you think of it, that is one of the parts that makes it difficult for people to get a job. If you're homeless here in Los Angeles, one, you probably have some belongings, which you're carrying around in a plastic bag, typically. You don't have access to clean clothes, or to take a shower, or to rest for a while. So how do you go look for a job? So we supply those things. Check your bag, get your shower, clean your clothes, get a little rest, then you're ready. Then you can actually think about looking for a job.
Hey Bob, are you gonna be here tonight?
Yes, sir. You've got to start with the man right where he's at. If he has to use a bathroom, let him use the bathroom. Start with that man where he's at. You got to treat people like they are somebody. People are not ignorant of that fact.
I like the warmth that they give them. They don't come like a real authoritative type of thing. They're more caring, you know. Like they really want to see a change. Like they really want to see something happen. You know, see this place go somewhere. And I like that.
I think that the initial attraction is that it's something new. It's a nice, pretty, pristine, clean building. But I think what draws people back is the way that they feel when they're here. People are treated with respect here. And that's something that you don't get a lot of downtown on Skid Row. You don't get a lot of respect. I think the staff works real hard to treat people like they're people. You treat a woman like she's a woman. You know, you treat a man like he's a man, not somebody with an addiction, not someone with a problem, but just like a human being. And I think that for a lot of people who've been using for a while, they forget what it's like to have somebody treat them nicely and give them a smile, maybe give them a hug. And I think that they're drawn to the warmth that they receive here.
It's a lonely world out there. You know, a friend is rare. But with the drop-in center, you have people that's willing to listen, willing to help you, and let you know that there's hope. And this is what I try to give. You
know. The staff here is beautiful. Lovely. One of the best I've ever met. The best. The best.
I attribute a lot of where we are to our exposure to the health realization. To start using common sense instead of conventional wisdom. And that's one of the things we stress with the staff. When you have a problem, use your common sense. What's going to work best for the situation?
What you do is I got a guy out there calling names.
All right.
He's got an orange vest on.
Okay.
So I need you to be mindful of that.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, my brother.
Don't let him get by you.
We spent a lot of time training basically our core staff, the ones that have been with us a while, in health realization.
They're at the end of their rope where they know they just can't take on anymore. So people really are innocent psychologically in the sense that they are always doing the best they can, given what they're making of that situation or how that situation looks to them or the kind of thoughts they're having about themselves in that situation.
We stress that over and over again, and that's been a hard one for people to accept. Probably our more senior staff have had more difficulty with that because the old sort of model here in Skid Row, in our agency and the others, has been, well, these people are sort of gamers, they're cons, they're trying to get stuff from us. That's the only reason for coming in is they want something. Sure, that's true. It's the only reason I go in a store, because I want something. I mean, why else would they come in? What is wrong with that? But it's been looked at as a bad thing.
Practicing health realization is focusing on how we feeling, us as individuals, not trying to find a solution in outside surroundings or blaming people for our state of mind and our beliefs and how we see things.
On the health realization concept that I was saying, you know, when a person is blowing off steam, you don't have to say anything. Be a listener. Just listen. And when they get through blowing their steam or whatever, you say, what do you want with your coffee? Cream or sugar? And when they get through with that, you know, don't take what they saying personal. Because you have to look and say, okay, they just not in their health today, or whatever's going on with inside of them, but don't let that get into your health where you get all messy and then you're going back and forth. Just let them blow off the steam, and then whatever it is that they're trying to accomplish, let them have it and go about. And it's going to trip them out that you didn't give them that argument that they're looking for, whatever it is they're trying to establish with you at that time. Because some of us, love drama. And I'm gonna come here like, how you gonna make me do this? Who you think you is? And you say, well, I'm so-and-so. See this? Ooh. But if you just say, I'm nobody, sir, whenever you're ready, you can have whatever you want with this. And then if you ever want to talk to me about something, I'm here for you. And then that kills it all off. It takes two to argue. When that person gets through hollering or whatever, just finish what you have started doing.
Health realization, just have you thinking. Has you thinking instead of just reacting. That's a big difference, not reacting.
If I'm practicing the principles of thought, mind, and consciousness in my life, say if somebody reacts to me if they spit on me, nowhere in the world I would justify that and sit up and stand up and say, oh, look at the innocence in the person. I will probably have to step back until I get into a calmer state of mind. And then I might see that he's been up 4 days on a drug run, or the person's intoxicated. He might even have a mental disorder. But I've noticed without fail that even the most resistant people, you're able to open up a dialogue, you know what I'm saying? And then we can apply, like the other principles, like to better understand where this person is coming from to go to the next level.
Everyone on the staff is a former addict. Either we have, problems with drugs or alcohol. And most of us have come through Volunteers of America seeking the same kind of help that we're trying to provide for our clients.
Basically, I do understand. And I'm here to help them as much as I can because I like to see them get to where I am now. That would, please me more than anything because I am very pleased the way my life has turned. I want to let them know that it's something better for them than those drugs and being out there in those streets. So anytime someone wants to talk to me about anything, I'm willing to talk to them and listen to them. And this is what they really need, someone to pay attention. Okay, as long as they can get that, then it makes them more open-minded and more willing to listen and more willing to follow suggestions.
A lot of these women are angry because of some of the things that have occurred in their life. When they get to the case management people here, we check and see where things are at today for them. And in that, they share different kinds of things that have happened in their lives.
And I hope as the people come in at night early in the morning for a cup of coffee, maybe, just to sit up and talk, that I can continue and the night staff can continue to encourage them, to see a case manager during the day.
Stood at the Weingart Center?
No.
Never? You've never been in the Weingart Center? Okay.
This is the first time in my life I ever been in a predicament like this.
So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to try to find you a housing, okay? So that you won't be here. Because before you do this, I want you to be somewhere stable. So you're able to stay there for 60 days, and then there are other programs that you could get into, like you want to get into school, then there's different levels.
I mean, if you look at what some of these people have been through, if the job was to fix that damage, it would take more than a lifetime. You'd never be done. We don't have to fix a thing because whatever's happened, whatever has taken place is in the past. It has no reality other than the reality of our habitual thinking that makes that stuff look real, but it's over, it's done with, and it's just amazing how quickly so many of these people, in their wisdom, in their innate health, how quickly they get that.
I'm able to now look at an individual and see the spirit on the inside and know that there's more to what is immediately apparent. What is immediately apparent is somebody perhaps in their addiction, somebody who's like I said, disenfranchised and feeling angry and maybe a little abusive, and someone who hasn't showered or kept themselves up. I couldn't see past that at one point.
And when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired of drugs, being homeless, having nowhere to go, or anything like that, this program's here. They put up with me, and And I have been a pain in the rear, believe me, I have been a pain in the rear. You know, especially when you're kicking heroin, you are a pain in the rear.
But if you could have seen Ray a week ago, he was an entirely different person. He was angry and he wasn't feeling good about himself, and he was just beginning to think about kicking his heroin habit. Nobody said anything to him. All we said was, come on in. We love you here. Come on in, have a cup of coffee. Come and sit. And what's important, I think, is to remember his name when he comes back in. Good morning, Ray. How are you? Every day, there was just a little bit of change. Today, the change is measurable. Here's a gentleman who was pretty much, feeling, his self-esteem was pretty low and not feeling good about himself. Has come back today talking, hey, Catherine, guess what? Guess what? I'm 7 days clean. I've kicked the heroin and I'm doing better and I feel good about myself. And he started volunteering for us today. And just a little while ago, he came to tell me that look at me. And, look, Catherine, look. And he had taken a shower and he combed his hair and he had some fresh clothes and he was smelling good and he wanted to make sure that we saw that.
This hasn't even been an hour ago, the way I looked. But I made a change, and I'm gonna keep this change. Out there on the street, it's not hard. It's not hard at all. I know. I can walk out in that street right now like I did yesterday. I was called out, and what happened? There was a guy right there with a cooker full of heroin, a syringe and everything, and he says, Ray, look what I got for you. And look what Ray did. Ran into this community service here, went straight to a caseworker, and I cried on this caseworker's shoulders, and I told her, I don't want to know. I'm tired. That caseworker held me in his arms and told me they loved me. That's the nicest thing that I knew. And you know how long it's been since someone told me that? 17 years.
I've never heard anybody say that, like my vision for myself is to have a one-room little hovel downtown on Skid Row. You know what I'm saying? So I encourage people, hey, what is your dream? What is your vision? Let's make that a reality. Because like I said, we believe that everybody down here, is capable of, like a high level of function.